Hey, this is Mark, and you're welcome to AUTOSAYS. Imagine waking up one morning, unplugging your electric car, and feeling that small spark of pride that you're doing something good for the planet, only to realize the government just turned every single mile you drive into a ticking meter on your wallet. Sounds dramatic, right? But stay with me, because what's happening right now could change the entire future of electric cars, car prices, and even the kind of vehicles people choose to buy over the next decade. Before we go deeper, hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you'll want to stay ahead of what's coming. So here's the twist most people didn't see coming. After years of pushing drivers toward electric cars, the government has now announced a pay-per-mile tax starting in 2028. 3p per mile for electric cars, 1.5p for plug-in hybrids, rising with inflation every single year. And this isn't some symbolic number. For an average EV driver doing around 8,500 miles a year, that's about 255 pounds added to their annual costs. And that's only the beginning. Suddenly, the cheap-to-run promise of EVs doesn't look so shiny. And if you think people are overreacting, just wait until you hear how deep this goes. See, governments all over the world have been quietly panicking about one thing: fuel duty. It has been one of the biggest moneymakers in modern history. Every time a petrol driver filled up their tank, the government earned cash. But as EVs rose up, that huge stream of money started drying up. So what we're seeing now isn't random, it's history repeating itself. Back in the early 1900s, when cars first hit the roads, governments introduced early forms of road taxes because they desperately needed money to build highways. Today, they desperately need money to keep those highways running. Funny how some things never change, right? Except this time, there's a twist straight out of a thriller. The government knows odometers can be tampered with. Clocking rolling back mileage might become a booming underground business. Imagine buying a used EV that mysteriously has fewer miles than your grandma's lawnmower. Suspicious yet? You should be. The government openly admitted this risk, but still pushed forward. Now here's where things get interesting and financial. The Office for Budget Responsibility, basically the UK's money watchdog, says this new tax could cut EV sales by 440,000 units. That's nearly 500,000 cars that should have gone electric, suddenly not. And manufacturers, they're freaking out. Ford called the tax the wrong measure at the wrong time. And honestly, who can blame them? They're being asked to hit strict electric car sales targets by 2030, while the government simultaneously makes EVs more expensive to own long term. It's like being told to run a marathon while someone ties your shoelaces together. Meanwhile, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders said the scheme could undermine demand. And they're right, because this doesn't just affect wealthy EV owners. Rural drivers, low-income families, and people without home chargers already pay more because public charging costs are higher, especially with VAT differences. Add a mileage tax on top, you can almost hear them switching back to petrol mentally. And here's the emotional punch. Real drivers feel betrayed. People like Stephen Walton, who bought an EV for his wife in 2023 to do the right thing, now believes he's being punished for making that choice. He says the pay-per-mile tax is the final straw. Imagine saving your money, choosing an eco-friendly car, paying more up front, and then being told years later, sorry, but you owe us for every mile you drive now. It's like ordering a dessert at a restaurant, and just as you're about to take a bite, the waiter whispers, by the way, that's extra, and the price goes up every year. Makes you want to laugh and cry at the same time. Pattern interrupt. Quick question. If EVs were supposed to save the planet and save you money, why does every new update feel like a plot twist from a psychological thriller? Okay, back to the story. We're heading into Act 2, the automotive industry and the financial fallout. Because this isn't just a tax, it's a seismic shift in the car economy. With fuel duty frozen since 2010 and huge pressure to fund green initiatives, the government needed a new revenue stream. Enter the electric driver, a large, growing group with higher-priced cars and nowhere to hide from an odometer check. For the government, it's the perfect financial target. But for automakers, it might spark a pricing war. EVs could get cheaper just to keep sales alive. Manufacturers may slash prices or reduce petrol car sales to meet electric targets. And consumers? They're stuck in the middle, trying to guess which car will cost them the least over 10 years. The used car market will also react. An EV with 120,000 miles already sells for less due to battery aging concerns. Now miles cost money too. Buyers will start hunting for low-mileage EVs like treasure, while high-mileage EVs might tank in value. Want suspense? Here you go. Imagine buying an EV today and realizing in 2028 it becomes financially unpredictable. Every mile you drive changes the resale value. Every long road trip comes with a price tag. Every decision becomes a calculation. That low-maintenance EV lifestyle? Gone. And if you think this ends here, Act 3 says otherwise, because something bigger is coming. A global shift. See, once one major country sets a tax model, others follow, especially when it brings in billions. The UK expects up to 1.9 billion from the mileage tax by 2031. Governments around the world are watching with popcorn in hand. If the UK pulls this off, the US, Canada, Australia, they might roll out their own versions. Remember, when the world adopted petrol taxes, it happened in waves. When hybrid incentives began, it happened in waves. When EV subsidies rolled out, waves. A pay-per-mile system is next. And here's the cliffhanger. This might not stop at electric cars. If EV drivers respond by clocking their miles, governments may eventually require digital tracking, GPS-linked systems, black box devices, mileage monitoring through telematics. It sounds like sci-fi, but history says the road always leads to more data, not less. The question becomes, are we entering a future where every mile is watched, measured, and monetized? Or will public backlash force governments to rethink this entire plan? The story is still unfolding, and the automotive world is holding its breath. So if you want to stay ahead of these massive industry shifts, and trust me, bigger ones are coming, hit that subscribe button, because the next chapter might completely change the cars we buy, the way we drive, and the price of every single mile we travel.